Hello, welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and today I'm bringing you yet another Love on Stage review. If you haven't already checked out the Kev on Stage Studios app, please definitely check it out. As always, I'm gonna leave the link in the description box below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my own channel, please make sure you subscribe, because the goal is trying to reach 200 subscribers. I'm so close. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. We talk about everything and nothing, so definitely consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited. And let's go ahead and get started, because today I have so many thoughts. And I do want to note that if you see me acting different, it's because, you know, the hair is done. So if the attitude is a little bit extra and it's a little bit too much for today, just understand that my hair is done and everybody's gonna deal with it, because you know. So first couple that I want to talk about is none other than Nate and Shandra. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with my reviews, you heard me talk about how that man doesn't really like her like that. There isn't that much of an attraction, and I wasn't sure, from where we left off, I wasn't sure how he was gonna react, you know, when they meet each other in person. And I could tell that in person he seemed to have been attracted to her a little bit more. But nonetheless, I feel like his stance is still the same. I don't think seeing her in person made him change his mind and be like, okay, I can overlook the whole kid situation or whatever have you, which I respect. Like, I don't know how I would have reacted if I kind of saw him showing a lot more interest in person after seeing her, versus just like not being interested, you know, with all of the dates that they had virtually, then seeing, you know, her snatched self, seeing her all snatched, looking fantabulous. You know, I don't know how I would have reacted, how I would have personally felt if that was the thing that makes him feel like, okay, then I guess I could try. Because then to me, that just feels like you're attracted to her physically, but like all the other parts of her you don't really vibe with. So I think there was definitely that, like, you know, head turn, excuse me, because Shandra, she, out of all the women, everybody looked beautiful, but Shandra did not come to play. Not with Nate, not with Melissa, not with nobody in the entire production, because Shandra, she looked like $1,000,000. And I'm like, good for you, girl. And one thing I appreciated about both of them is they were just adult about it. Like, they didn't make anything feel or be weird. She didn't come with no energy of like that, and he didn't come with no energy of like disrespect or anything like that. So I really appreciated just like the conversation. It was very just like mature. It was very like just casual. It wasn't nothing of the, it wasn't as awkward as it could have been. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that from at least what we're seeing, there isn't any love, you know, attraction or love interest that's happening between the two of them. But even outside of that, when they met each other in person, there wasn't no crazy or weird vibes, which I appreciated. Shandra brought him a gift, and he seemed to have liked the gift. And they're just like talking, vibing out. I feel as though he just was not attracted to her from the jump. Because when they were sitting at the dinner, Melissa had asked, which castmate surprised you the most after meeting them in person? He essentially said Shandra, because he said that when he knew that he was matched with her, when he saw the pictures that the show had sent, the pictures of Shandra, he was like, I'm not really sure. Then he went on Facebook and he was like, okay, she's cute or whatever. And it wasn't until he saw her in person, then he was like, dang, like she's actually like really gorgeous. So part of me is feeling like, okay, could him standing so firm with this whole children not being under 16, could he have been so rigid because he wasn't physically attracted to her? You know what I'm saying? Because had he been attracted to her from the jump, would he have been able to compromise or at least see the situation for what it is, which is that's not even Chandra's child, that's her brother, and the circumstances with which, you know, she came about being the sole caregiver of this child. You know what I'm saying? Could he have been able to overlook that if he was attracted to her from the jump? And I feel like he wasn't. And so maybe he may have gone through this process just as like, I already committed to this, let me just see this through. But out the gates, I'm not really seeing where this is going. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overthink things. But even when they started the process, like he gave her this gift. It was like a little picture of them from from the Love on Stage, watch the show. The gift that he gave to her from the very first date, he was essentially saying that no matter what happens, you know, have this gift because we will always remember having this moment. It feels as though, like, now looking back with that comment that he made about her, you know, looking better in person or looking better like on her Facebook pictures, it feels as though, like, from the jump, he already knew that, like, this right here is not gonna work out, and so let me just figure out a way to still be a gentleman about it and still just kind of like do what I said I was gonna do without fully committing myself. That's what it feels like to me. But then again, I could just be reading into this way too much. I did not see the full dates, so y'all don't come at me saying like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, because to me, again, somebody being a mother to a 9-year-old under the circumstances with which Shandra became the parent or the legal guardian of the little boy, it seems to me that that's something that should have been able to be like, okay, you know, we can figure it out. If he was interested, if he was attracted to her. I don't think he was. I feel like for the first time that he saw her in a, like, dang, this is somebody I could see myself being with, was when he met her in person. And then at which point it's like, what are we really doing? You know what I mean? So the next couple is none other than Tremaine and Sharita. And when I tell you, let me just go ahead and... My God, today, that was a lie. That was a lie. I was so awkward for them that I literally wanted God to blow the trumpet. Take us back. I could not stand what it was so awkward. It was so awkward. I wanted to die. Like, physically, I wanted to die. Like, watching it was painfully awkward. And I was just kind of like, girl, he was trying. Tremaine was trying to meet her halfway, to have some kind of a truce, to have some kind of a reconciliation or whatever. But I feel like every attempt he made, she literally rejected it, and she was very loud and adamant in the ways in which she rejected those efforts. You know what I'm saying? It was so painful. And she was just like, girl, like, girl. And the thing that's like making it hard for me sometimes to just see like, okay, girl, I understand, you know, that you had expectations, this and the third. But however, again, this man was grieving. Like, can you give it time? Can we just have this conversation? And the reality is, even off camera, it's one thing to be like, okay, because of the camera, I'm struggling, da-da-da-da. She admitted it herself that even off camera, she yelled at him, she blocked him. So even if he wanted to rectify things and make things right, he couldn't. So we're just mad, and we're just gonna stand in that anger for what reason? Other than ego and maybe fear. Because the crazy thing is, she admitted that she really likes him to his face. You know, after she had a couple of drinks, she was like, I think about you, you know, often. I think about you a lot, you know, this, that, and the third. And he was like, can we just call truce? And she was like, yeah, we can call truce. And he asked her, like, I'm here now. Can we move forward? And she was like, why is that up to me? Girl, it's up to you, because apparently you've been the one doing all of this. Like, how is that? I'm trying to understand why this is shocking her. Sharita says, I love you. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what you're not understanding. That's what the problem is. You've not been leading in kindness. Like, at least from what we're seeing, you've not. And it's not really... It's not the look. And I don't know how they're gonna end up, if they're gonna end up together. But if they do end up together, I do hope that she's able to find the balance between, you know, standing firm in who you are, and also knowing when I am wrong and when I can also meet somebody halfway through that is trying to meet me halfway. You know what I'm saying? So if they do end up together, and it's one of those things where, like, he's always the one that's having to put his anger or his feelings aside to cater and literally baby her into just like playing nice or just like being nice to him, that's gonna get exhausting, because he really tried. Like, he complimented, he made jokes, he did all of those things to just, like, you know, pull her out a little bit. And even as he was trying to do all of that, it seemed as though even when she was responding, she was still not kind. She was just very much like, well, she just had an attitude about it. And she was like, I didn't give you, when she was making the drink based off of him, because that was the assignment. Make a drink describing the other person. And so, you know, he made her a drink. It was like, you're kind of sweet, a little, you know, sour if somebody gets on your bad side, da 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 da. So it was just like very like descriptive, while at the same time also maintaining that he views her as a nice person who may just be struggling with life, this and the third. When it came her turn, she was like, I'm not gonna give you too much bourbon because I feel like your communication was weak. Your communication was weak. Girl, what are you talking about? So I really hope that somehow, if not for this man, if for the next relationship, I hope they can make it work, really, because they seem to really care about each other. But ego gotta get out. We gotta drop that ego, sis. It's not leading well. And I do have to admit, like, Tremaine has been my favorite my favorite, you know, person on this show. He's very like nice, he's goofy, and he's honest. He's just like comfortable in himself, he's comfortable in his masculinity. So he wasn't really afraid to compliment people, crack jokes. He wasn't just like very hard, like, you know, I'm a man, you know, I'm just gonna be like, no, this man was just out here living, at least from what we're seeing. Again, everything I say, I always have to lead with at least what we're saying, because people can be edited wrong, people can be edited one way or the other. But Sharita girl, the editors will have to really try hard, because it seems like a lot of this is your own doing. It seemed like there was literally no regard for his feelings and what he might be feeling in that moment. He felt as though it was everything about her, and that's dangerous, you know. It's cute for one time, like there's a little disagreement here and there, but if they were to make it long term, and it's just this man that's always having to make the extra step, that's always having to put his feelings aside, that's always having to take, you know, what she's saying, like, I'm just being honest. Like, if you're not being honest and delivering it in kindness, or like looking at the full picture of who a person is and just like fixating on one thing, that can suck for a person, you know what I'm saying? That can be detrimental to how, you know, Tremaine views himself as a person. If every time you make a mistake, every time you do things that she does not agree with, then you have to literally feel the full wrath of everything that she is. And it's like, for this situation especially, it seems uncalled for, is what it is. And I'm not at all saying that Sharita should not have her needs met. Like, if she feels like something is important to her, she definitely needs to voice it, and she needs to feel heard, and she needs to feel the fullness of whatever it is that she's feeling about a certain situation. But at a certain point is, if you are trying to make a relationship work with somebody, then you also then have to consider their needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they need in that moment? You know, and from what we've heard from Tremaine, he just needed a little bit more kindness. And if this initially started as you just wanting to be there for him, then that was your good opportunity to actually lean in and be like, no, I want to show you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to show you how good it can be if you just like open up and let me into this grieving process. Like, I'll make sure that the ground is really soft to just like catch you as you're just like down and vulnerable and all of that stuff. That was the time to lean into that. Not push this man away and then demand that he honors your feelings, while at the same time you blocked him, you're yelling at him, you don't want to talk to him, and it's just like you don't want to hear his side. Like, that's a lie. That's a lie. You know, and it's like, I feel bad for him. And last but certainly not least, we have James and Crystal. Listen, the two of them are as solid can get. When they met each other in person, there was kisses, like, and it was the whole thing. I was here for it. I'm like, if you people want a flower girl, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for James and Crystal. They're just like thoughtful, they compliment each other. Like, she's building him up in a way that I don't even think James needs to be built up. Like, I mean, everybody needs to be built up, but like, James, you know, has 75,000 businesses, you know, on the side he's like a surgeon, and then on his spare time, you know, he's a mechanic, and then he's helping the Black community, and then he's building schools. Like, he's just like, he has 75 different things going on, a cooking show, this and then the third. So he's a well-rounded person. But it's like, yo, Crystal is really just like lifting him up, you know, with her words, just like making sure that this man feels like, I see you, I value you, the work that you're doing, I'm gonna celebrate you, I'm gonna, like, you know, hype you up. She's doing the thing. So kudos to you, Crystal. Invite me to your wedding, I'ma come, you know. Their meeting was like so sweet. It was just very like all of the things, all of the love. We definitely have another Rob and Bria, okay? These two a lot, you know, because intentionality is there, purpose is there, love connection is there, respect is there, vulnerability is there, all of the different ingredients that makes a really cute couple. We're seeing it even from, like, you know, afar. So I love that for them. They each got each other a gift. Crystal got James a hot sauce with like his face on it. It was just supposed to mean something really beautiful based off of their dates and the conversation that they've been having. And it was just like so sweet. Like, she's paying attention to him just as much as he's paying attention to her. It's not one-sided. Everybody is trying to make sure the relationship works. So we love to see it, and I really think the rest of the castmates. Let me stop. Alrighty, there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Am I overreaching? Am I doing the most? Share your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think. And definitely check out the Kevin State Studios app if you haven't already. It's amazing, amazing content. All of the things that you need for Black love, Black laughter, Black everything. So definitely check it out, and also make sure that you subscribe. Help your girl reach, you know, her goal for the end of the year. Definitely subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, Z's.